there are certain people. If I needed to talk to someone about how I was feeling,
Yeah.
I could give you like 3-4 people that I could just go and DM straight away.
Yeah.
And we could have that like genuine, real conversation.
I just found myself. I found myself caring a lot more than I should have been.
Yeah.
Like,
All it
just
is after 9 o'clock every night.
Love Island
Twitter. I don't. At any point during that incident, someone could have literally been pushed off the roof.
Welcome back. We made it. Podcast number what? 4?
I don't know.
4. Number 4. Big movement. We've got 2 cameras. Living life.
2 cameras. 2
change of
microphones.
mics.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pat,
we've switched it up every.
We've
episode.
sort of talked about not doing anything for quite some time. I think I put that down to like exam stress.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
We're both done with it.
Not even exam stress. Just stress. Just stress in life. Just like loads of things. But no, I've watched a lot.
Now life is extremely boring. So
That is true. That is really true. I've watched a lot of like podcasts since like not doing the last one.
Yeah.
For some reason I find it weirdly productive. You know, like when you might like go for a run, or you might you finish like work and you feel like you can just sit there and do nothing.
Yeah.
For some reason, if I watch a podcast or I watch something that I'm like, I want to create something like that, when I finish watching it, I feel really like
you feel like
energized. And
it's not like you've just watched a YouTube video and you gain nothing from it.
I feel like I've watched it and I've gone, I like the way how they've, I like the way how they've presented that, or I like the way how they've used that, and that's something that I think that's quite good.
Yeah.
We were just talking about watching the Halfcast podcast.
Yeah.
Do you watch any other podcasts or listen to? Or?
What's his name? Like Sean Atwood.
Oh yeah,
the true crime podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've watched a couple.
I've watched a couple of those. Yeah, there was one that I watched, and the guy that was on it was really interesting.
Uh-huh.
And then, I think it was like last week, he uploaded a second podcast with the same guy.
Yeah.
So I watched that one as well.
If you don't know, Sean Atwood's the guy who was he
was arrested
lived
in America.
He was born in Widnes, I think, and he was like quite an anxious kid. He like got himself onto the like drug scene or something.
Yeah.
Flew over to America. It was the stock.
Yeah, he got big on the stock
that.
Market in England.
Made loads of money from that because he started learning about that at school really young because he asked to. Flies over to America. He
got into dealing ecstasy.
He like makes his own pills as well.
Yeah,
in like the Netherlands or something, and gets them shipped over.
Yeah.
He tells loads of crazy, and then he gets arrested like 2 years after he stops.
Yeah.
And then he tells loads of crazy stories on his.
Really good.
And he's got loads of insights from like prisoners and stuff as well. That's really cool. I've actually watched loads of podcasts. Actually, I was gonna say a couple, but I reckon there's like a solid 5. I would say True Geordie's at the top. Like, come on, let's be honest. Have you seen any of Stephen Try's podcasts?
I've watched all the. Stephen
They're
Try's
really
ones.
funny. They're really funny. That's just like 4 mates just sitting down, just chatting rubbish about anything.
Yeah.
A new one is Joe Weller.
I do.
Not personally. You might do. Get him on. Please welcome. He's got a podcast out now, but it's only like 10-minute clips.
Right. It's like a supercut of.
Yeah. I don't know whether there is, because obviously we're not on Spotify. You've got to pay like £2 a month to do that, and I don't have that money. No. Unless you want to sponsor the podcast, let us know. Should we start a GoFundMe page?
Start a Patreon.
Yeah, so they've started that. That's really funny. It's him and Theo.
Is that
Baker,
Malfoy?
Yeah. OG.
Yeah.
That's really funny. So they're like my top 3.
Right.
And then I've watched a couple. Jack, mate.
Yeah.
I don't really watch his videos.
Like him, no.
I don't mind him. I quite like him.
Right.
He's got a very sort of dry, bullying sense of humour.
Yeah.
But his podcast's quite good. There's
I just see him on Twitter and I hate his takes every time it pops up in my timeline.
Hot
so
takes,
I just don't watch
hot
him.
Takes. There've been a couple of like interesting podcasts. He's got one of he used to have like I'm Alex on there. And
why are we giving free advertising to all these other podcasts?
Because my thought process is if people start watching more podcasts, you get a taste for podcasts.
Yeah, all right, okay.
So then you warm to it, because that's how because at first I only watched like True Geordie, and I would only watch like clips. I would only watch 20-minute clips, and you grow from there, and then you go into the full hours, and the next minute I'm in like a 2-hour 59-minute interview
Yeah.
with like Ian Wright, or you know what I mean,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
a really
yeah.
good podcast. And then there's another one that I watch called the Talking Points podcast, which is about basketball.
Right, okay.
Which is actually really interesting.
Not for everyone.
It's a really niche sort of.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I think they're just shy of 1K.
Right.
but
So it like
it's
you had
it's
to
really
go
good
down
quality.
the rabbit hole to
It's
find
really
it.
good quality. But the thing is, I found it because they did a video with Lawrence McKenna and he's on there a couple of
Yeah, yeah.
times, and it's like really good because it's niche. It's like if you're American,
Yeah.
you're not gonna watch some UK people talk about basketball.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, if you like basketball and you're from the UK, it's like a really small gap. So obviously, they're not like banging video after video.
Yeah.
But actually, for people like me who, I'm interested in the NBA. I don't mind playing basketball. I quite like it as a sport. It's sometimes, most of the time, much more entertaining than football,
Yeah.
especially as a Huddersfield fan. So I just really enjoy being able to get information and feel like when I watched it, I feel more knowledge about the subject.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? So they're my top 5 podcasts.
Right, okay.
I think.
I don't think I've got 5.
Do you think you've got
So,
5?
Halfcast podcast.
Yeah.
I've watched pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
The only ones that I don't enjoy, Poet.
Yeah, I do. Not personally.
The episodes that he's on, he's just he makes it all about him.
Yeah.
And
bit like me.
if if there's like 3 people in the studio having a conversation and Poet's there, it'll just dominate the whole conversation. And I find it really obnoxious. I can't watch the episodes of Poet and there isn't like a set format for it. So Chucky's like the host of the podcast, so he's on every episode,
Mm-hmm.
and then he always has at least one guest, but that guest can be literally anyone.
Yeah.
And the one that I sent you, the Jamaican strip clubs versus UK strip clubs, the guest that he had on in that, Savage Dan, he's probably like the best guest. Like, I've watched all the episodes with Dan in because he's just like, he's a sound guy.
Yeah.
He just seems really knowledgeable just about life and stuff. So when they're just having these free-form conversations, he's just always got something to say, and like he's always worth listening to, sort of thing. So Halfcast podcast is like is like the one that I've watched the most now.
Yeah.
Have you watched Gasworks before?
I was just gonna say I think that because I was gonna say boiler something, but it's
Boiler
gas, innit?
Room. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's Boiler
yeah.
Room that like.
I've not.
uploads it.
I think I've seen clips from what you've shown me.
Yeah,
I've not like sat through, because obviously when we first started this out, we were like looking for not things to inspire us.
Yeah, we were just
looking
getting
for
an idea
formats
of how it works
and stuff
yeah.
like that. I remember you showing me a few things like 'cause
Yeah.
they have like a green screen going on
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like the setup and stuff. So I've seen clips and stuff.
Yeah,
but
I love Gasworks. Gasworks is probably my favourite podcast, but they do. It's like one episode every 2 weeks or
Yeah.
something.
God,
Whereas,
imagine
so
not
inconsistent,
uploading.
honestly. I know it's really bad. But Halfcast podcast, it's like every 3 days or whatever.
Mhm.
And if they get enough content from one of the sessions, they'll like upload 2 videos in one day or whatever
Yeah,
because they're on different topics.
Uh-huh.
So Halfcast podcast and Gasworks are like my top 2 at the moment. Gasworks is really good. It's just straight banter for 20 minutes, half an hour. There's Poet on it, but it is bearable on Gasworks because it is a bit more laid back. Like it's not serious topics or anything like that. There's Alhan, is one of my favourite people in the world. I fucking love him. So funny. And then they always have a guest on. Like they've had loads of different people on. Not last episode, the one before, they had Lily Allen on, who's
Really?
probably been the biggest guest so
Yeah.
far. Yeah, and that episode,
I imagine that's quite a good.
that
guest to
episode
have,
is really
actually.
good.
I
Yeah,
probably need to watch that.
because she's quite like upfront and
Yeah,
she
yeah.
says things.
She's done
how
a
it
lot
is.
of. Yeah, she was like in the news a lot like
Yeah,
recently.
It's
Well, not
re-
recently,
it-
but
I was gonna say if anyone's gonna check out Gasworks, I would recommend
Watch
you
that
watch the
episode.
Lily Allen episode.
Definitely.
Yeah,
in terms of, because obviously I would say I watch a lot more YouTube than I do TV.
yeah.
What's your
100%.
ratio? Is your ratio like?
Well, the thing with me is it's YouTube and Twitch. Like I watch
you're a-
live
yeah,
streams
yeah,
and stuff.
you're more of a Twitch.
So it's, I think at the moment Twitch is quite good for content. So it's probably like 70% Twitch, 30% YouTube.
Mhm.
Like, I'll check YouTube like twice a day or whatever, just to see if someone that I really enjoy watching has uploaded anything.
Mhm.
But otherwise, I'll have a live stream on watching.
Who's your
whoever.
You're going on your subs. You're looking for someone. Who you looking?
Yeah.
Who?
Oh,
Who you
my
looking for?
YouTube feed is so bad because I'm subscribed to
PewDiePie?
like no.
You're not.
Well,
You lost the war.
I'm subscribed to channels that publish music that I listened to like
T-Series.
3 years ago, like drum and bass channels, you
Really?
know, like UKF and stuff.
I mean, I don't.
Well,
I never subbed to those.
no, like similar types
Yeah, I
of
know what
channels
you
that
mean, I know what
upload
you
music like
mean,
that, and they'll upload like 30 songs a day.
It
So
is
my
mad.
feed is just
is
flooded
mad, yeah.
with stuff like that. But when I go on YouTube, who is it that I'm looking for? Yeah, it's, I mean, Gasworks is always one, but that's a set day, set time every fortnight. I think it's every Thursdays at 3, I think, 3 in the afternoon. So I always know when that's going to be
Yeah,
up. Halfcast podcast is any time, so I suppose I'd be looking for that. I could say PAQ, but that's the same time every week.
Yeah, you told me to watch them.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. They were too.
Did you watch it?
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. They were too, especially the Yorkshire one. I don't know. They just
Danny.
didn't. They just didn't look how they should. Like, you know what I mean? They just didn't. I don't know. I just couldn't. I
What
just
do you mean?
couldn't. Because obviously I'm like an EXO sort of fanboy.
Yeah.
And we were like comparing like groups because
Yeah.
obviously there's like individual YouTubers and then they like form bigger groups. You know, you've got Big Boys, Sidemen, and you know, like you've got groups, like everyone has
Yeah,
groups. And you were sort of suggesting me to watch them, and I was a bit like, yeah, I give it a go. And then I don't know, I just couldn't.
Well,
They
because
just
you're
really irritated me.
You're
And I don't
already
know why.
into the other two groups or whatever.
Kind. Whoa! Did you just say I'm a Sidemen fan?
I'm sorry.
I don't. The thing is, actually, I was saying this to you earlier as well.
Yeah.
I think they've sort of their content now has come full circle. Mind the audience.
That'll be alright.
Yeah, like it's come full circle. So now they're doing like a lot more game shows and stuff,
Yeah.
which is something I found really cool because imagine being able to wake up and your job is going on set, messing about with your mates playing a game show.
Yeah.
2 hours later, you get to put it out there and you get people saying, "Oh, this video was sick." Like,
Yeah.
how cool is that? You know what I mean?
No, but you have to understand the amount of work that they've had to put in to get to.
Oh, guaranteed.
to
yeah.
get to the point where they
I
can
was
do
thinking
stuff
about
like
this
that.
as well the other day. KSI, right, is literally just a kid, like sort of what we're doing now.
Yeah.
He sat there. There's a TV there. He's got his controller there, and he's got his camera there.
Yeah.
No mic. Like when we were setting up, I was like,
Yeah,
"How much of a
he had,
BTEC
like-
setup is this?" But look
It'd be recording on like a Turtle Beach
compare,
or whatever.
Compare like this to what he had
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And like realistically, look how far he has built like his
I know.
empire. Like it's actually insane at how far he's come.
I feel like that was only possible
Then
on
yeah.
YouTube at that
Then,
time. Like,
definitely.
I don't think anyone would be able to sort of like
No,
recreate
because if you
that.
put that content out now, you just get swallowed up.
Yeah,
You-
exactly.
I guarantee you just
Yeah.
get swallowed up. Which is why when they're making new movements and stuff like that, I think it's so cool when new ideas and new formats come out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just think that's the best. And then, in terms of like YouTubers I watch and stuff, I'm pretty I'm genuinely 14. You know. I'm
Yeah. You still watch gaming videos and that?
like,
I do.
No, not really, you know. I'm not sub to many, like, because I don't watch FIFA that much anymore. Like, FIFA sort of died out,
Yeah.
so I don't watch FIFA that much. I still watch, I'm quite 14. I still watch, like, Chris MD. Do you know who Chris MD is?
He's like a football YouTuber.
Yeah. So, me and Josh, you know, Josh Berry, right?
Yeah.
We found him when he was on, Josh found him when he was on, like, 10K.
Right.
And I sort of tagged along at maybe 15 or something like
yeah.
that. And then he had like this Messi video where he packs Messi. And
Yeah.
like back then, that literally guarantees you like
Like
a
you've made
million
it.
views.
Yeah,
That literally
yeah.
that funds your career.
Yeah.
So he packs Messi, and that video is viral. And now I think he's on like 4 mil.
Is Chris MD the streamer? There's a really big FIFA streamer.
I don't think so.
I
A really
don't
big
know.
Castro.
That-
Castro.
that's him.
Castro
Yeah,
does
yeah,
loads of FIFA streaming.
That's
I've
him,
never watched
yeah.
him. I know who he is,
No.
but I've never watched him. So
Yeah.
yeah, Chris MD. I love Will and E. He's so funny. Who Who else? No,
The
I'm,
thing is,
I'm pretty basic.
I used to watch like Willany and Memulus and all of them, but I don't know. The format just got too samey for me. I don't know whether or not they're doing different things now.
Yeah, kind of. I see what you mean. I watched I went back and I watched a lot of Willany's like older BG Media videos and stuff like that. I wanted to see how he did it because obviously, and we'll get onto this. You know, like when you're talking about inspirations, when I was saying I watch content and I want to gain from it.
Yeah.
I was going back because I wanted to see how people have started. So it's like you've got your gamers who start with the TV and stuff, but then you've also got people like Willany who just put themselves in front of the camera, just went. You know what I mean? Just went balls deep, straight in.
Was that what he started on, the BG Media stuff?
No. Well, not really, no.
I know that was like his big
That was his break.
Yeah, yeah.
He just started on like 4-minute, 5-minute videos.
But it was a similar...
It was similar format, similar like commentary, sort of rinsing people every week, getting laughs out and stuff like that. Whereas now, it's like... Now he sort of comes up with like original ideas, sort of 10-minute videos to try and... like selling his mates on eBay, or
I was gonna say
where he fooled everyone thinking he was going into I'm a Celebrity.
Oh, I watched that one. That was a good one.
That's a really good. He's honestly like a really smart YouTuber.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching another podcast called The Process with James Lawrence Alcott. That's a good channel. And on that, it's like I think it's like 50 minutes an hour, or it might be longer. I can't really remember. And Willany is one of the most switched on people in terms of how to work YouTube.
Yeah.
So like how to get your video and how to hit the numbers, how to get the revenue, how to do everything. And he's so switched on to that. It's like unreal. He's like one of the most switched on.
You need to be like that now though.
Oh, definitely.
It's so difficult to make a career out of it.
Like obviously I was trying to look at see if we can get some money out of this.
Yeah.
And I think you've got to have...
You said it was like
1,000. It's 1,000 subs.
I thought it was 2,500 views or something. Or
and
it's 5,000 views.
No, it's 4,000 views every month.
Per
month.
Is that over all videos?
Yeah. Not like on one video. It's like as long as you've got a channel viewing.
So you have to be like uploading consistently.
Pretty much. I was working it out. We were sort of... Because I think we uploaded... The most we've uploaded in a month was maybe 2 or 3 times when I uploaded some of the music stuff.
Yeah.
And we got maybe...
I think it 3 times in a month.
We got maybe like 700 views in that month.
Right.
Realistically, actually, so the 4,000 is not... You know, if we just kept going and going and going, 4,000 wouldn't be too far away.
Yeah.
It's just the 1,000 subs bit that's just insane.
But even then, how much money would we be making after 4,000 views a month?
I think we'd make
like 10 pence.
No, we'd make a decent amount. I think when we got that much in that month, and you check Social Blade, it was something like 40-50 quid for that month.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
No, honestly, I'd get it up now, but it says like 7p because we've not uploaded. We've not uploaded in years, so like, yeah. But money's not bad, you know.
Do you know what I can't believe?
I don't.
The most viewed video on the channel is the JME video when we went. You know the shot.
The little. That was like my first time editing as well.
And it's got like 300 odd views. I think I was really surprised when I checked.
It's decent. It's because I just kept plugging it and plugging it.
Do you know what I wonder?
If you actually watched it.
No, is there genuinely people watching the video? Or is it just like bots? Like,
I think
I really don't know.
I do think because you can go into this like you've got to be like a whiz and stuff. You can go into like your YouTube analytics and stuff like that, and you got to understand what every word means. But there's a way where you can like check certain things. So like you can see what certain things mean. So like click time, watch time, there's stuff like that, and like Willany was saying if you are planning your video, or it might be Mr. Beast, or because he bangs. I don't watch his videos, but he gets views. He knows how to play the game, like and like they were saying, you've got to don't think of your video. You've got to think of the caption and the thumbnail.
Right.
That's how you plan your videos. Don't plan your video on the content. Plan it on that because they're not going to watch the video first. They see the thumbnail first and they see the caption first.
You need to get them to click before.
You need to get them to click because otherwise, and that immediately boosts your views. And the more views you get, the more, you know what I mean?
The more it gets pushed.
And comments as well play to the algorithm. So if you drop any hate comments,
it
doesn't work. It actually doesn't work. So, that concludes sort of YouTube section.
Right.
In terms of inspirations, I tweeted out and got limited replies.
To be fair, the Twitter account for the
yeah.
podcast has like 5 followers.
Yeah. No one uses
two
Twitter,
of them are me and you. No, I know.
A lot of people were
I don't
saying.
understand that, me.
A lot of people were saying to me, I'd have said on it, like, they
should have
messaged me
done
on
like an Instagram thing.
but they were like, we just don't use Twitter, and I was like,
it's literally the
what
best
do you mean?
social media
Twitter's
platform.
we'll get onto social media in a bit.
Honestly, yeah. If you had to pay for Twitter,
I'd happily
if everyone
subscribe,
still used
it,
I'd pay like £5 a month.
It's gold.
To use
It's gold.
Twitter.
You get like
so
different
good.
categories of people on Twitter. Though.
Yeah.
You get like your indie boy warriors. You know, the people with like the jumpers tucked into like smart trousers.
Yeah.
You get like your dark fruits warriors. You know, like your people who pretend to follow rugby.
Fiat 500 Twitter.
Fiat 500
Classic.
Twitter. Depressed girl Twitter.
At the moment, all it
Channel.
is after 9 o'clock every night.
Love Island
Twitter. I don't even watch Love Island.
I actually, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't need to watch Love Island because I just go on Twitter after 9 o'clock and it's all laid out for me.
I did start watching Love Island.
Did you? I've never watched it.
And then they kicked Sharif out for kicking one of the girls in the groin area.
Is that what it was?
That's what it was. And then he like swore at her and said words.
Right, because I saw something on Twitter. I think it was a fake.
That he like
Instagram
broke
DM.
someone's wrist. Or
No,
there
that
was,
he went to the toilets and sniffed coke, and then they wanted him
Really?
to do a drug test.
No.
But no, I think it was
I've not
fake.
heard
I
that
think it
one.
was a fake
I've
DM.
not heard that one.
But they had done it so that it was his account on Instagram, and
Oh.
they made it look like.
No.
I don't think that it was.
It's
true.
mad how much you can just change.
Yeah,
things
like you can just
nowadays.
doctor
get away
anything.
with anything. It's like with the James Charles thing.
Yeah.
People like Photoshop so many messages with that. Anyway, where were we? Inspirations and stuff.
Yeah.
I got a couple of good replies actually. One of them was Jess Glynn. That wasn't a good reply. That just wasn't a good reply. It's okay, she won't watch this. That wasn't a good reply.
She probably will watch this. You told me that she watched all the other ones.
Yeah, she's watched all the other ones, but let's be honest.
Right. Okay.
Come on. I don't know, people are going to get post notifications for this one, so you know what I'm saying?
Stacey, if you see this, it's a great reply.
It was a terrible reply. But we were saying this as well earlier. You can sort of understand it. She makes music for people who are like depressed little girls. Like,
You should probably just add that this is your sister. Like, you're not just slagging off like some random person who's nice enough to reply to the tweet.
like, I was thinking about this as well. I've said that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think there is like bad music in essence. If music is emotionless, then it's bad.
Yeah.
If music can connect to anyone, even if it connects to one person, it's good music.
Yeah.
Or it's music at least, because the whole point of music is that. So if her music can reach out to someone, fair enough. Like, I'm not gonna sit here, and plus she's also sold a lot more records than I have.
You can't knock the lass.
I cannot knock the lass. So yeah, that was one reply.
Yeah.
Another one, we actually got Dave Grohl, from Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the, because a lot of the people have got. I know this is a music podcast, but we got musicians said in every single. I think I got. I'll like say 4. I think.
I was saying to you before this that I had a long think about it.
Yeah.
And the only 2 that I could come up with were musicians.
Yeah. I've got musicians.
Yeah.
But I like aspire or take bits from more people than that.
Yeah.
So he was said because obviously he was in Nirvana and then Foo Fighters, and he broke his leg or his arm on stage and carried on the concert, or you know what I mean. So, and I remember it must have been 2 years ago. It was Glastonbury, because Glastonbury this year, and
is it not yearly?
No, I don't think so.
Right, okay.
It's every 2 years.
Yeah, it is this year.
It's this year because Stormzy's headlining.
Right.
And 2 years ago it was Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it because I was ill, and I remember laying on the sofa, and I hadn't listened to Foo Fighters before, but I was like, I'll stay up and watch it, because I just didn't feel well. I was like, I can't really get to sleep. So I was watching that, and I was like, these guys are really good.
Decent.
And they were putting so much emotion in the music, and it was, have you heard My Hero?
I don't think so.
Big tune. Tune. And they get all the crowd at like thousands, we're talking, and obviously it's a festival, and they're singing the chorus. Like, they've stopped, the music stopped, they've gone off stage, it's 10 minutes later and they're still singing the chorus to the
Really?
song. and it's insane.
Yeah, that's
and
sick.
I just like that. I just like that from like collective when you go see something or you watch something, and the unity that you get from like music is insane. It's so good.
Yeah.
So I would say that is a good shout for inspiration. Inspiration
For me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you guess. Right, they're both musical.
Mm-hmm.
One of them's
It's gotta be grime, isn't it?
one of them
one
is,
of them.
and then another one isn't. I'll let you. You can go for either. When you think of grime, who do you think of?
KSI. Actually, got a good album. We'll get onto that.
Good is subjective.
Yeah, it's not terrible. it's not Lamborghini. Let's be honest. I want to say Blade or Lean.
What?
Blade or Lean.
No.
Not for grime. Not for grime. Not for
I
grime.
was gonna say.
Don't do me like that. Not
Don't
for grime.
insult me like
Not
that.
for grime.
Yeah.
One of the
Okay.
others. Is that one of the others?
It is one of them.
One of them.
One of them.
I feel like because if you asked me this question 5 months ago, I'd have said Lean.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Blade.
It's not. It's
Is
not
it Lean?
Blade. It is Lean. Yeah. It's for it's for similar reasons to the other person as well.
Really?
Yeah. But you probably won't be able to make the connection. So, just when you think of grime, who do you think of?
I think of like 3.
Okay.
Wiley, Jamie, Skepta.
Who did you say first?
Wiley. Is that
That's the first person you think of
okay.
when it comes to grime. Yeah.
So Wiley.
Yeah. Honestly.
Why those people?
When you think about what he's done,
yeah.
It's honestly insane. He
Uh-huh.
practically single-handedly created an entire genre
is
of
true.
music.
I do think about that a lot actually. Like it's insane to think that people were just making music without it being labelled.
He doesn't get enough respect for what he's
Yeah.
done. Like when you think about Wiley, if Wiley hadn't started like the Eskimo sound, which evolved into grime like 15 years ago or whatever, the amount of UK artists that just wouldn't exist.
That is true.
Like without Wiley, you don't get Skepta, you don't get JME, you don't get Chip. Like you
just
don't
don't
get
get
Devlin.
you
don't get like UK.
Yeah, that is true.
Everyone in the grime scene is there because of Wiley. Because he created it. Like
who would you
it's
say is
insane.
if you could put money on the next person to blow up from that scene, like grime scene?
From the grime scene.
Next person to be maybe not as like influential, but the next
Blow
person
up
to be like
to what, like in what capacity? Because you can say Skepta's blown up, and I mean he is still grime, but he's
I think he's already blown up. I think let me rephrase. I don't really know how to phrase it, but let me like reword the question.
Yeah.
So in the way
like to break out of the grime scene.
Yeah. So in the way that
Yeah.
Skepta's gone from being the person to make grime, and now he's like working with like in America with
Yeah.
like A$AP Rocky, and he's expanded himself. Who would you say is going to be the next person to expand himself in my way? Because personally, for me, I think in a different way. I think Zoo has really expanded since we've seen him.
it's so sick.
Because
what
obviously
Zoo's
he's got the
done.
Radio 1 thing. He's a big Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
And he like interviewed Klopp, and like he's doing a lot on like sports and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. I think that's a big
that is
breakout.
Yeah, no,
for,
right.
like,
I understand what you mean.
That's what
now.
I mean. Like,
Yeah.
who's gonna make the next
Oh.
movement in their career, sort of thing?
I really don't know, because now in grime, it's sort of like, so you had the first era was like Wiley and Devlin and all of those like 15 years ago, whatever, and then you had the second wave of grime, and then there was the third wave of grime, which was like AJ Tracy and Zoo and all of those, and they've broken out now.
True.
And now we're just getting properly into the fourth wave of grime sort of thing. And out of that set of people, there's one artist called Ten Dixon. He's a talented guy. He's a versatile artist. He ain't got a lot of music out, but the stuff that he posts on his Instagram, like the snippets and stuff, it can do more than just grime. Yeah. But I think in terms of that like subset of people within grime, they haven't been in the scene long enough for any of them to establish themselves like as a personality or anything like that. Okay. So none of them have done enough to sort of like get their own radio show or whatever. But actually, now that I say that, there are two people who have started their own record label called I Am Grime,
Okay.
There's an MC called Jams and a producer called Jack Dart, and they have got their own radio show. It's once a month on Rinse FM, and they're doing a lot in terms of bringing new MCs through, helping them get a platform in a similar way that Zoo did.
Yeah.
And Jams has done like clothing releases and stuff like that, and they're doing like vinyl releases of instrumentals and EPs that they've done. So I think out of everyone, Jams and Jack Dart could potentially do a similar thing to Zoo, where they get themselves onto a bigger platform, because I know Zoo's got the show on BBC One Extra now or whatever, but he started on Radar Radio first with a very similar thing to what they've done, where he had a show every fortnight where it'd bring like guest MCs in, he'd play loads of new music from people in the scene, interview the people who he'd brought in. They'd have like a phone-in segment where he just chatted to people who were listening to the show, and then they'd just let the MCs freestyle for like half an hour at the end. And then from doing that, he's managed to get himself onto BBC One Extra. So I could see Jams and Jack Dart, they're in a very, very similar position. So I could imagine that they could potentially go in and do the same thing.
I think a lot of like doing stuff like that is structure, having the idea, and then engagement as well. Because people, I think, like with social media and being online and stuff, people are too scared of how they appear. So if we put something out and we were like, "Who inspires you?" people would see it, not comment.
Yeah,
now
because
they're not
worried that other people might see it.
Yeah, there's two reasons. Two reasons. Three I've not counted yet. I might come up with another one. You never know. You never know what you're gonna get. 2 reasons why people don't do that. They either A, don't like me. Now, if they don't like me, they shouldn't be following me, so they shouldn't have seen the story. So if you don't like me, unfollow me. I don't care, right? You know, if you see it
goes down to 10 followers. I'm joking,
mate. I wouldn't even care. Yeah. At least I know I've got like 10 people.
Yeah, true.
Goes down to 0. Unless I get when people might see it and like I've not talked to them or like for however long or you know what I mean. So I get that.
If we had a bigger platform where it wasn't really just people that knew us that were following, then we probably would get more engagement.
Or people just don't want to comment because they're either A, scared of what other people are going to think of what they've commented. Now, I don't think you could say someone who inspires you and get it wrong unless you say Jess Glynn. But I don't think you could. I just don't think you can get that wrong.
Yeah, no, of course not.
So I think when people don't comment, it's because they're scared of having their name there.
Yeah.
Which goes down to the whole social media thing of, do you think being anonymous, do you think not having numbers on, like not having likes, not having followers numbers?
I saw something about this,
Do you think that's the way forward for that?
Did you see that Instagram, it got leaked that apparently Instagram were planning on hiding likes from everyone?
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not it was true, but
no, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I think for me personally, it isn't a problem.
Yeah.
Like if I put a post up and it doesn't do numbers, then it doesn't do numbers. For me, I really don't care.
Yeah.
Like you can look at my Twitter feed. I've got like 50 people that follow me. I'll just tweet anything.
Yeah, like, that's the best thing about
whether
Twitter.
or not anyone interacts with it, I don't care. Like I'm just putting it out there because I want to.
That's
get
the thing.
Like, put it out
that's
there.
The thing I found with a lot of social media. That's why I sort of went on a cleanse for a bit.
Yeah.
So I still don't have Facebook and Snapchat. I got them back once just to reply to my fans. Nowadays. And then I've not kept them. I got rid of like Facebook is just boring.
Facebook's dead.
Facebook is just like lad Bible, sport Bible, your mum Bible. It's just like
everything
Bible.
Everything that is on Facebook comes from Instagram, and everything that's on Instagram comes from Twitter. So if you're on Instagram or Twitter,
Facebook is just pointless. Facebook is just like when you're bored or when you're like, you know, you're sat in there and someone passes you and you got to pretend like you're busy. Like that's all Facebook is. Snapchat is like Instagram stories have taken over Snapchat for me now.
Do you think
personally? So? I think they've come because Instagram offers a lot more as well.
Yeah.
So Snapchat's just been like Snapchat's lost because
I guess
you don't have you can't post. Essentially, if you could have like a dashboard on Snapchat where you kept all your stories or you just had highlights, Snapchat would win.
Yeah.
But you can't. Like that is the main problem. And Snapchat can't take that idea from Instagram because that is Instagram.
I only use Snapchat for group chats.
Yeah. So I just found Snapchat. Snapchat was just boring for me. And then
Yeah.
Instagram, I just found myself, I found myself caring a lot more than I should have done.
Yeah.
Like I was looking at people who were like following me. If they weren't following me back, I'd be like, what are you doing?
Why is that?
What you doing?
Yeah.
You follow someone, or this thing really annoys me, and I tweeted about it, right?
When girls follow you so
When-
that you
not
follow
even
them back
girls,
and then they
like,
unfollow you.
When anyone, girls, boys, them,
Yeah.
they, whatever, anyone follows you,
More time it is girls though.
You
it,
get them-
It is in my case.
you get them, right? You let them in. You let them
Yeah.
into your.
I've got public
know,
profile, so.
You request to follow them.
Yeah.
You end up following them, and then they unfollow you, and it's
Yeah.
like.
I
What you
always
doing?
try and remember their names if I follow them back because if you go
At
to your notifications
Yeah.
and it tells you that they followed
Yeah.
you. If
it's gone.
they unfollow you, the notification disappears.
Yeah.
And a couple of times I've forgotten their names because my thing is, if you're gonna follow me and I
Mhm.
follow you back,
Which
it's
is-
just like
is
a
babes.
mutual respect thing. Like if
respect the hustle.
if we don't know each other personally, it's just like a mutual respect
Yeah.
thing. So if you then unfollow me,
It's like
it
Yeah,
paints a bad picture of you in my head. So I just go and unfollow them. Like,
yeah, and I also hate how I was spending a lot of time on social media as well. I think I cut down. My phone time, screen time, whatever was something
Yeah.
like. It was a lot of social media time. Must have been like 3 hours, 4 hours or something. And I was on my phone.
That's what it was before.
Yeah,
Or else
yeah.
we got it down to.
No, that's
Alright,
what it was
okay.
before. And I was on like my phone 7 or 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
The least now I've been on my phone in a day is an hour and a half.
Right.
That's not a lot at all. And I'm pretty sure it was like 40 minutes social media.
Yeah.
And that's just like texting people. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Messenger. Because the only app I had for a bit was Messenger.
Right.
And that was just to keep in contact with, you
Yeah.
know, like my fans.
Do you feel like it's benefited you though?
Definitely, 100%.
In what
100%.
aspect?
In the aspect of I would now be able to post anything and not care about it.
Right. Okay.
Because the thing that tipped me over the edge was we went to a wedding and my phone camera was like terrible.
Yeah.
So I got my sister, like we all got pictures and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was going to post a picture and I just kept looking at it, kept changing it, kept editing it
Yeah.
on the Instagram thing. And I must have had like 5 drafts of it.
Right.
And it really bugged me. And I was like, I was going to post it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I don't really like it. And then I got a selfie that I'd taken or something like that or whatever on this phone that was really broken, really terrible image. And I edited that one up. I was like, oh. And then I did that thing where you select 2. I went to posted it. I can't remember how many likes I got. And then I wasn't happy. And I was
Right.
like, and I deleted it. And then I sort of was like, and then 10 minutes later I was like,
Why
what
am
are
I
you
doing
doing?
this?
What
Yeah.
are you doing? And I just thought, no, I need to, I just, like, there is something wrong. Like, you have
Yeah.
to, you can't, like, what is, you know what I mean? And I'm sure I'm not the only person.
I think it is a problem for a lot of people.
I can guarantee
It-
I'm not the only person. Like,
No.
girls, and the
No,
thing
of
is,
course not.
girls
No.
talk about it, boys don't.
It's
Boys do not talk about that.
Do you know what it is? When people do the thing where they follow you and then if you follow them back they unfollow you, that's the exact same problem.
Definitely.
Because they're just trying to get their followers up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's all
100%.
it is.
But
So,
also in
yeah.
the same way that if you notice that and it bothers you, obviously it bothers you from a sort of personal perspective because you're sort of like,
It bothers me because it's just like, why do you care that much?
yeah. But at times it will bother me in terms of numbers, and I'll be like, well, I can't be seen having more
Yeah, like
following
my
than my
followings more than my
followers.
followers.
One thing I did do was unfollow like pages, so like
I
Bible,
did
Sport
that.
Bible, football teams, celebrities.
Yeah.
And I unfollowed it because I sort of wanted to keep my Instagram personal.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I was thinking of like starting a new one because I was like, I don't care about numbers and stuff like that, and I
Yeah.
only want people to follow me who care about me. So if they care about me, they'll follow
They'll
me.
follow you.
And not even in like a vain way, not even in it.
No.
I just mean like, because it all maybe got a bit too much for me at one point. I was just like, okay, maybe I just need a fresh sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then so I was like, I got rid of all them, and then I was like, okay, I won't get rid of like people who I'm following in terms of like,
Yeah.
people who I know, but I'll get rid of everyone else. And if I see pages, if I like or pages I want to keep in like touch with, I'll follow them again or I'll refollow them. If
Yeah.
I don't, then it obviously means I don't check them out enough.
No.
And I've not even had that. I've not even been on Instagram that much to be
Yeah.
able to like I've not cared. Like I just haven't cared.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's benefited me because time,
Right.
like time, has been so important.
Yeah.
And in the same way that if I was to take a picture, I'd be able to upload it and not care who likes it or anything. I wouldn't check because
Mm.
I've sort of trained myself to not check that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a way, that's sort of made me really bad with my phone now though, because I take ages to reply sometimes.
Right.
But
No,
it's definitely.
mean-
I would honestly, I would advise anyone to like try and do like a social media cleanse
Yeah.
because it makes you so much aware of like
How reliant you can become on it and
that,
stuff.
and also how much awareness you have.
Yeah.
Because I would have liked to think I'm like quite a self-aware person,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm incredibly blind to a lot of things because I make a podcast. So I don't know how people view me. So I'm not that self-aware. And I was also I was like overthinking how self-aware I was, being like,
Yeah.
are people view me like this? Are people view?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I got rid of everything because I was like, I can't
think
take
that,
how I
that is
think.
a big problem with social media.
I can't take how I think people think
Yeah.
I am, and I was
Yeah.
just like, I need to get rid of everything, and so
I think it does cause a lot of issues for people in terms of how they think people perceive them, and they don't like it or whatever.
definitely.
So they use social media to try and create an image of them being a person that they're not, because
Yeah.
they want people to sort of like view them in a more positive light, or
Yeah.
they
And
just want.
I'm not even in like I don't think when people are always like, people only post what they want you to see, and
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing because
No.
obviously,
Yeah.
if I posted a load of terrible photos, blurry, bad quality,
Yeah.
no one
The
wants
thing
to
is,
see that. Like,
that's why I've created this second account. Like I created a private account
Yeah, yeah.
recently. Like
I
I know I'm late on jumping on the wave.
you are
but
very late.
I just thought
But I'm glad we've got your nudes.
like there,
Go check him out.
sometimes-
Jack.JG.
JG. I think there's 4 JGs.
Oh,
on
there's
the end
4.
of it. I'm not sure, but
Okay, fine.
yeah. See if you try your luck. See if I can let you in. But there's sometimes there are certain things that I want to post. Like if there's just a sick song that I find, but I don't want to post it on my main. Like people don't care
Exactly.
that much.
And
That's a similar thing with my Twitter. Like a lot of people don't follow me on
Yeah.
Twitter, which is why I just tweet what I want to tweet, because it's just thoughts that I'm getting out there.
Yeah.
Like
I felt like I had things to prove as well.
yeah.
So I'd see something and I'd post a lot on my main. I'd post a lot of paragraph rant or anything.
Yeah. And that's another good thing about a private. You can, because the people that you have on it is only people that you want to see what you're posting.
definitely.
You can post more like stuff where it's banter or whatever, or like it's a funny picture you made, or you do like a rant post.
Yeah.
Whereas if you posted something like that on your main, you probably get people like
However,
unfollowing.
That's what I mean, though.
Or they're saying that. Does that mean I've got a problem?
No,
Because,
no.
Because I'd care
That's
if
what I
I put
mean.
one of those
Yeah.
posts on.
So ideally for me, I would get to the point where I would be comfortable posting the stuff I post on my private on my main.
Right. Okay.
Maybe not the
yeah.
spam, because like there's a difference between private and spam. Private's just
Yeah.
like, and you just spam post. And a lot of people use their privates and spams to like joke around with their mates, and that's
Yeah.
fine. Use that. But for me, ideally, I would be able to get to a point where, because I've got this thing in my highlights on my private where
Yeah.
me and all my mates and stuff, we find it so funny watching that back. I watch my highlights at least twice a week because it's just videos of Josh messing about.
Yeah.
And I find that really funny, and I would get to a point where I could record stuff like that, put it on my main,
And you'd be willing to put it on your main.
and people would watch that and they'd laugh, not laugh at me,
Yeah.
not go, oh, Mikey's put another skip past.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ideally, people would go, oh, Josh is doing the funny
it's
face
another
again.
funny post.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. In a way, that's kind of sadistic and like wanting me going, oh, I want all your attention, and
Yeah.
but I do. So, but I don't think there's a problem with using a like a spam or a private as
No.
like a way of like, because in a way it's a way of, for males, males especially.
Hard to know what's male and isn't nowadays, isn't it?
It's a good if it's a letter, mate. Check the address. Do you get it, mail?
Yeah. Go on.
If it's like a private or a spam and boys are using it to like talk about feelings or anything like that,
Yeah.
it's a good way, because I've talked to people recently who wouldn't, like, they go, oh, it's not me. I don't talk about feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's not the point. You can't bottle up your feelings and go,
No.
I don't do feelings. No,
Yeah.
you do.
No, I was
The
gonna
whole
say,
reason why you don't do feelings is because you've chosen not to do
Yeah.
them. It's not a, you know what I mean?
They talked about this exact subject on the Halfcast podcast on one of the episodes that I watched last week, and it was like people ask their friends how they're feeling, and they're like, "Oh, how are you? Have you had a good day? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing tomorrow or whatever?" But it's rare that you talk to your friends and you're like, "No, how are
Exactly,
you feeling?
exactly.
Like, are you okay?"
Like, there's a difference between saying, "Oh, how are you?"
yeah,
and "How are you?" Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like
are you
generally,
okay?
genuinely,
Yeah.
how actually are you?
yeah,
Like, because there's such a huge... Because
And
you
like
could
you
ask,
said, a lot of people aren't willing to open up
yeah,
like that.
definitely not.
Like, they feel like you're going to mock them.
Yeah, you could ask me at some point and be like, oh, how are you? I'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But then you could go,
no,
how are
like,
you?
Are you
And
happy?
I'd just be sort of like,
Yeah.
like now I'd be like, yeah. You'd have asked me like the same question when I was like, whatever, and I'd have opened up or anything like that.
Yeah.
And that's in a way that's a good use of like private or spam or whatever, because you can be like, you can put something
you can be
on
more open.
and you can get people to reach out to you.
Yeah.
In a way, you might say that's a beg, but I won't call it a
don't
beg
know,
at
but-
all. Because if you're feeling like that, there's a point where there's a difference between beg and like just needing help.
Yeah.
Any help, like help is help.
I agree,
like,
but
at the end
I
of the
feel
day.
like people who find themselves in a position like that, if you do have a private or whatever, you should, if those people truly are like your close friends or whatever, anyone who's following your private, you should be able to feel like you can reach
definitely.
out with them
Yeah,
and
yeah,
say,
definitely.
like, can we have a conversation about this?
Yeah.
And I know personally, through people who have asked me like the "Are you okay?" question
Uh-huh.
before, there are certain people. If I needed to talk to someone about how I was
Yeah,
feeling,
yeah.
I could give you like 3-4 people that I could just go and DM straight
Yeah,
away,
yeah.
and we could have that like genuine, real conversation. So I don't know, like,
I think the thing is, again, if you put something on your private and you're saying, oh, there's 3 or 4 people, or if you know, I've got this many followers on my
Yeah.
private, they're on my private for a reason.
yeah,
But if it's on my main, they should follow me for the same reason. They should follow me because it's me, and if I felt bad, they would reach out to me. Or maybe because
I don't know about that, because have you still got people following you on your main that you don't have a genuine connection with? Because
Yeah, I
I've
get
got
that.
people that follow me
Yeah,
who
yeah, I
I've
get that.
never talked to.
yeah, I get that.
you know?
Like in a way, it's like people follow you. Like I have a rule, like don't talk to someone. You wouldn't message someone online if you wouldn't be comfortable talking to them in real life.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. I get that rule can be played about with, because or if you said the rule was I don't message people who I've not spoken to. Well,
Yeah.
if you don't know who they are, you're not gonna be able to talk to them in real life without.
No.
So I think there's a rule there, but I think the problem is with that is like you could want to like people that don't know you, yeah, fair enough. They shouldn't be expected. They've not clicked follow to
No.
be some sort of like personal helpline
Yeah.
service. They've clicked follow because they just want to see your life, see what you're about
Yeah.
and stuff. And I get that. It's the people who follow you who you're like mates, who you talk to, and like they should be the ones. But at the same time, people shouldn't be uncomfortable. Like you shouldn't post something on your main if it's like a sad thing or anything like that,
Yeah.
and be uncomfortable about how people view it.
Yeah.
Because those people, the people who don't know you, shouldn't be expected to reach out to you, but they followed
No.
you, so they shouldn't be judging you.
Yeah.
They've clicked follow for a reason. That reason isn't to come and judge you, to hate on you or anything. That's my point. They shouldn't be expected to message you. They should be expected to respect you.
Yeah.
Is
yeah.
my point.
I feel like I've not posted anything like that that's like mad emotional.
No,
or whatever.
I've not.
But if I post something on my main that's like banter or whatever, sometimes I do notice that some people unfollow me. Like I don't know who specifically, but the follower number goes down, and it's like,
yeah.
why? Like,
Although a lot of it,
why'd you follow
a lot
me
of
in
it
the
will
first place?
Will be like bots or stuff like that.
I
Because
guess.
I've got like everyone has at least like 50 bots
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like at a
yeah.
time, you know, like free Fortnite coins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, that old classic. I actually can't remember how we got down this deep dark hole.
We were just
Anyway,
talking about the
if,
social media cleanse.
if you are struggling with social media or anything like that, do a cleanse. Honestly, it's really
How
it
long
is
did you
really
do it
good.
for? Was it like a month, wasn't it?
It's been. It must have been. Well, I've still not got Facebook and Snapchat, so that's like a month and a half. I didn't have my main Instagram for about a month, and then I
Right.
got rid of Instagram completely for my private and stuff because I just
Yeah.
wanted to go all in for
Yeah.
about a week and a half for that.
Right.
And now I've got both my Instagrams back because obviously I wanted to start this back up and I needed that for like plug.
You just need the platform. Yeah.
When we went and saw Jamie, he said something really good, which was social media, because he's against social media, like not against, but in a way
He doesn't use it. He doesn't use it.
He does,
No.
or he rarely uses Twitter, but rarely.
I was gonna say
He's
I
got
think
a Twitter.
yeah.
because he told us to at him.
I added him and I
Yeah.
didn't get any response,
No.
which I wasn't surprised about because
But
like
he might have watched it though,
he just does his
because
thing,
he
doesn't
was on the stream and he only had like 4 people watching, so he
Yeah.
might have watched it, but
Who knows?
he wouldn't have said anything.
No.
But so yeah, so he said
Still love him.
Yeah, definitely. He said use social media as a way to like plug merch
To promote.
to promote, because that's essentially the basis of it.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to get your content out and stuff. So I don't think when people are promoting the stuff, help them out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm not just saying this for us so you help us out or anything.
No.
I just mean it in general. Like, if your mates are in a band, if your mates are like good at art, if your mates are,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Help them, because it's
Yeah.
free. It's literally free. If on Twitter you replied or you liked or you retweet, that goes to your following audience.
Yeah,
Now, you
yeah.
could only have 50 followers,
Yeah.
and 10 of those could only see it. But if they see it and one of those 10 likes it, that's
or
another
even,
10
or
people.
even just clicks on it, watches it.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean. And
Yeah.
and it really annoys me when some people, like, I get some people are going to scroll past and, like, because I don't talk to them, they don't
Yeah.
know me, anything like that. But just get involved. Please don't be scared of what other people
Yeah.
think, because at the end of the day, it helps everyone out. Like, literally everyone
Yeah.
can benefit. I was thinking about this as well. If everyone subscribed to everyone's YouTube channel,
Everyone
and
7.5 billion subscribers.
and everyone liked everyone's videos, would everyone be rich? Because everyone will get money, everyone will get ads. YouTube will get ads.
I don't think there'd be enough time in the day to like everyone's
No, they wouldn't.
videos.
But realistically, if you just went round, if I made a load of like things and just subbed to every channel,
Yeah.
and I kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it, we could get this podcast to like 2,000 subscribers within 2 days if I just kept making spam accounts or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose that is true.
If everyone subscribed to everyone, if there was more like unity and collectiveness, or everyone liked every video, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would that result in, you know what I mean? Do you know where I'm coming from?
I don't know.
Because like, hypothetically, that would work. Everyone would get
I
more
guess.
views, more likes, more subs.
Studying the Soviet Union and communism's
Yeah, true.
gone to your
True.
head in history.
No, it's not.
Everyone
It's
eats.
not. Yeah. Let's back up a bit. Inspirations. Another inspiration I was going
to say, I don't think you said any of yours, did you?
No, I didn't say. Another one that we got told was Tyler the Creator. Because
I didn't see that one.
Because no, that was messaged.
Oh, right, okay.
Message.
That's a good one.
And
is a good one.
that was in terms of music, but also art.
Mm.
Like image wise, I think that's quite a good one.
Done the fashion thing as well.
The work that he does is very.
He's just
what's going on in
yeah.
his mind, and I respect that a lot. So that's a good inspiration.
Yeah.
That is a really good inspiration.
That's. I mean, I suppose that's similar to mine with Lean.
Is that what because?
Well, it was the thing where he also kind of helped like start a genre.
Yeah.
With the back when he released his first EP, that, along with the work of other artists like Lil B, started like the SoundCloud like cloud rap era, which then evolved into you getting artists like X. Like even though the music isn't the same,
Mm-hmm.
it was his music along with another group of artists that started the SoundCloud wave, which then evolved into you getting all of these other artists. And then it's also inspiring to see his artistic progression and how he's grown as a person over time, because obviously in one of the other episodes I talked about the Miami story where he had the breakdown and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then seeing how much more mature he is and how he has grown as a person because of those events is, well, it's inspiring to me, because when I got into his music, I was going through some stuff at that point in time, and then because I sort of like related to the music, I got more invested in him as a person as opposed to just being a musician.
Definitely.
And then he's also, in a similar way to Tyler the Creator, he's done the clothes things with his own like fashion label. He's got his own. Well, he hasn't got his own record. No, he has got his own record label. He's got his own record label, and he's done like short films and stuff like that. And I know he does art and things like that. So he is also a creative.
Yeah, I think for me,
I know one of yours.
Go.
Kanye.
I wasn't actually gonna. Obviously,
Really?
he's up there. He's up there, but
I thought that was gonna be number one.
Now the thing with Kanye is, he's too high of an inspiration. Because if you aspire to be,
you can't aspire to be like him.
mean.
I was thinking about this morning.
It's like it's impossible.
If you understand what he has had to, what he's
actually gone through
to get to
or
where
not
he
even
is.
that, not even like what he's had to do, just how everything's fallen into
Yeah,
place. How
yeah.
if you try
No,
to
you
go
can't
through that
recreate
track of
it.
events,
Yeah.
it's impossible. Like
Yeah.
you have to go on your own journey. And all
Yeah.
that. So for me personally,
I think not just in the not
okay.
just in the case of Kanye, but with everyone else. I was thinking about this morning with the whole inspiration thing.
Mhm.
You can never let somebody else's reality be what you're chasing.
Oh yeah, no,
because
because that's theirs.
it's unrealistic for you to ever attain that.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how they've got to that point in their life or whatever. You don't know what they've experienced that
Especially
has influenced them to get them to where they
Yeah,
are.
definitely.
But I think with anyone from any walk of life, if your dream is ever to have someone else's reality, you've lost track of
Yeah.
what you're looking for, because it's not realistic.
Yeah. I think for me, I would say Alex Turner, Arctic Monkeys,
Yeah.
because it means more when they're from like,
When they're
Yorkshire
from the
and
area.
stuff.
Yeah.
And you watch like documentaries or videos of them when they were like our age,
Mm.
and they're just going and playing pubs, and he's just like regular. Like we're polar opposites in the way that if I was to be like the frontman of a band who are about to have one of the best debut albums ever, I would be absolutely owning it. I would be like, believe the hype. Like, I'm here. I've arrived. He's like, don't believe the hype. He's like just dead tone, just like, don't believe the hype. And I think that like humble, like he's such like so humble. It's unbelievably humble.
Yeah.
And in that sense, that's quite like.
I mean, to be fair, for any musician, like you can fall off at any time.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
one bad
100%,
release,
and it's.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it almost happened to Kanye, didn't it? Like people thought he'd fallen off, and thought
Multiple
he was
times.
going to
But
fall
he's
off.
he's ahead. Like so many times, he's ahead of his time. Though.
Yeah.
Like I wrote a piece on controversy, like how much has controversy affected his success and stuff.
Yeah.
And like it's
You said
actually
it-
weird because you read back on some of the stuff, and like projects like Life. I would say Life for Pablo. If that came out now,
Yeah.
that would be a really of the time sort of album.
Yeah.
2016, you think, well, what else came out in 2016? You're looking around at what's come out in 2016, and that's so far ahead of its time.
What
It's
did come out in
unreal.
2016?
No idea, mate.
No.
You pinned me in a corner there. I was gonna say, and then I was just like,
Warlord came out in 2016. Young Lean.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's how old.
He's ahead of his time as well.
So that Alex Turner's up there. Kanye's sort of there, but like not in that aspect. Maybe like when Kanye first started, like chasing the dream sort of work. Just constant
What is it?
grind.
Is it 5 beats a day for 3 summers?
Yeah, he did something insane.
Yeah. Mad.
And then who else? There's not that many musicians, I would say.
Right.
I watch in terms of, because what we do is things I want to do. So like when we're making videos and stuff, and I watch a lot.
Yeah.
So I would say it's mental because, you know, we've talked about KSI going from gaming in his room. True Geordie went from ranting to an iPhone camera on his ironing board.
Right.
And that banged. And then he
Yeah.
played FIFA. And then he's done all this. And now he's making podcasts with his mate, interviewing people like Ricky Gervais and stuff. I think that like, you know what I mean? And I watched a video. They did a video where they went to Monaco, and he rides around in like a Lambo and stuff like that. And Lawrence's editing on that is insane. Like I was watching it, and you get to the end of the video, and you're like, I was thinking, oh, I hope he does like one of those sort of old styled, like, oh, starring True Joe. And then he did it, and I was like, but if that video had come out 5 months ago and I hadn't have thrown myself into their work,
I
wouldn't have wanted, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something good because I can watch people and I can be like, okay, how's he done that? How's he done that? A thing that I kind of want to know is if I could ask them any question, if I could ask anyone any questions, and obviously, if you want to interview anyone, you interview someone who inspires you, someone who you aspire to be like. If you can ask them any question, what would you ask? If you could ask like Lean, if you could ask Wiley a question, what would you ask?
I really don't know. That's difficult.
Because my question.
Wait, you just get one question?
Yeah, just one question.
Because
you only get one question.
Like in the case of Lean, I wouldn't want it to be an interview. I'd want it to be a conversation, like
Okay.
just to talk to him.
Okay.
Because I feel like he's such an interesting person.
But you get you get the conversation after,
yeah.
but you only get 5 minutes to ask this question right now.
I don't know. You've had time to think about this.
Okay,
So
well,
I think you've got a good answer. For this. I
Mine
don't
would
know.
be, if I had to ask someone like that, I would ask who inspires them. Because if you can find
Yeah.
out who inspires you,
Yeah.
you literally you'll find out the godfather of
Yeah.
everything you're aiming for.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to edit a video, like how I edited that JME one, if I edited that and you asked me, oh, have you come up with some of those ideas, or have you, what inspired you to make that? I would say Lawrence, XO, I would say all that. Yeah. And then if I went to them and said, how, what inspired you with that style? Point? And they said, oh, this guy and this short film. And I watched that and I went, wow, that's literally like everything I've been. That would give me the direct source of everything that I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? That's,
What would my question be? I really don't know. I think it would be something along those lines. Mm-hmm. We'd sort of like just figuring out how they, like, I don't know, how they got to where they are now, or how they started the process of getting to where they are. I'd say for someone like Wiley, because when I don't think they were taking it that seriously really when they first started, I'd ask at what point did he realise that this was something a lot bigger than what it initially set out for it to be, because at that point in time it was like 2002, 2003. It was just a case of there were MCs in London who wanted to rap, but the beats that were out, they were too upbeat for the for the lyrical content. So Wiley started creating beats that were darker, and they kept some of the characteristics of like the jungle and the garage that they had been like MCing on, slowed it down a little bit, which is like jungle's like 160, 170 BPM, and Grimes typically 140. Started making these beats just because, as I said, the MCs wanted a change of pace, and they needed, like, there wasn't the instrumentals out that fitted what they were rapping about, and they needed something that was darker and grittier. So
that's what you'd ask.
Yeah,
that's a good question. I think like finding out how people get their first foot on the ladder, or when they realise that their foot's on the ladder.
It was crazy. So like Rinse FM, which is the show that I was saying earlier, Jams and Jack, that I've got their radio show or whatever. It's actually like an established radio station now. To begin with, like Rinse FM and all pirate radio stations, because it was illegal for them to broadcast the music or whatever. So, in fact, I don't think it was Rinse FM. I think it was Deja Vu, which is also another established radio station now. They started it at the top of a block of flats that was abandoned, and they'd like broadcast it off the roof of this block of flats. And I heard a story of one of the DJs explaining that they used to get this guy to climb up the elevator shaft of this like 20 plus story block of flats, like with the wires, just so that they could get the setup.
Oh my god.
And there are videos that you can find on YouTube of like events. And there's one really famous incident of Dizzy Rascal and this other MC who's called Crazy Titch, who's now in prison because he was implicated in a murder.
Right.
So
we've all been there.
They get into a bit like an altercation during the set because they were like clashing, and then Titch like finishes spraying his bars or whatever, and then he turns to give Wiley the microphone. And then not Wiley, Dizzy, the microphone.
Okay,
And then Dizzy goes to reach for it, and then he turns back round and carries on spitting. And then it really like winds Dizzy up, so he starts on him. And they're at the top of this block of flats, and like they cut the music because everyone's getting involved because Dizzy wants to fight him and stuff. And like they're all shouting, and they end up going out onto the roof, like because they were streaming on the top. They were spitting on the top floor, and then they go out the doors onto the roof, and people who have spoken about that incident that were there, they were like, at any point during that incident, someone could have literally like been pushed off the roof. Mental. Like, it's insane.
That is mental.
It's crazy.
From what I've heard though, how long ago was that? Like,
that incident specifically, I think that was like 2004, 2005.
Okay, because I've heard that Dizzy Rascal's a bad egg.
Oh yeah,
like he's just a like because True Geordie did an interview with him, and he said in like interviews and stuff, like at any point he wishes he could sort of gone do you know what? Let's just end it.
It's crazy the amount of success that he's had, because from as much as I know, he's always been an artist who's stood by himself.
Yeah.
In the scene.
100%.
Like just look at the album cover for Boy in the Corner. He's just sat in the corner of the room by himself, and the inspiration for that album cover came from one of these old school sets, because while everyone's in the middle of the room spitting and like they're singing along to his bars, you can just see Dizzy in the back corner of the room stood by himself. Yeah. So he's always been like a lone wolf or whatever. How long have we been going?
We've been going for quite some time.
Yeah, I thought we had.
But I mean, we can just carry on.
Whatever.
We've booked it, so it's ours for the taking. Speaking of album covers, actually, I was watching a podcast. I just want to get your take on this.
Okay.
Because this is something. If people want us to do a podcast on this, let us know. Because conspiracies and stuff like that are like a good topic. Horror stories, stuff like that, are a good topic.
Right.
Album cover. I'm pretty sure. I don't know which Michael Jackson album cover it is. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah.
If I can, I'll put it up on the. I'll put it on the video.
On the screen. Yeah.
That'd be sort of here. There's one where Michael Jackson is and I don't know how like long before it is before 9/11 or what. It might have like been the year before.
Oh right, okay, here we go.
And his arms are like pointing to like 9 and 11 on like a clock. There's not an actual clock, but someone's like changed it so that you can see it. His like arms are like pointing to like 9 and 11.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. What's your So let me get your take on that 9/11.
Oh, I thought you were gonna ask for my take on Michael Jackson.
We can do that one as well. We've sort of covered that one in a previous one.
We did, didn't we?
We did cover that one a bit. But 9/11. Shoot.
I really don't know, to be honest. Like, I've not looked into it that much. I genuinely don't know.
Really? You've not?
I mean, I don't want to be like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bush,
we allegedly,
yeah.
because we don't want to get sued. So it's this one. So he's like put the 9, like the little hand on the 9, and then the other one on the 11.
I think that's a bit of a reach, to be honest.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What would Michael Jackson have to do with it?
Yeah, I know, but there's
when was it released?
It was definitely before 9/11. I forgot. Yeah. In the background, there's the towers. There's like towers blowing up.
Oh, that was part of.
That was Look. So
right,
you got the towers. Everything's on fire.
Yeah.
It's called Blood on the Dance Floor.
Oh right, okay. And then
like there's a few things that sort of link up and stuff like that.
There's the Simpsons thing as well.
There's loads of Simpsons things.
Oh no, I know.
The Simpsons have predicted so many things. We could go into a whole new episode on
it, like the Trump presidency.
Yeah. Where he's like
mad.
coming down the elevators. You're like, wait,
Yeah.
we could go into so many. And another thing that Simpsons claim that the American government had the cure for cancer as well at one point.
I don't know.
I'm sure there was an episode where they were like in some sort of FBI or Area 51, or they break in and they've got like some sort of cure or.
Yeah.
There's like so many conspiracies surrounding like that, but we could get into a whole new podcast on like conspiracies and stuff like that.
Just keep going.
If that's something we want to do,
we could just cut all this up.
I can, to be fair. Yeah. We can do that. We've not really talked much about new music.
No. I saw a tweet the other day that was interesting.
Can't be that.
It was a question.
You forgot it.
And they just said, which musicians have you been following like from the very start of the career?
Me?
Well, I mean, I can answer first.
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah,
you go first.
I'd say that the best and most, because I think a lot of people bullshit. Like, I was looking at some of the replies.
Do you mean like people talking about, or do you mean artists?
No, like people bullshitting about following artists
right
from the very beginning. Because I was looking at some replies that were like, they'd listed 10 people, and it was like, Joyner Lucas, Mac Miller, Nicki Minaj, like all these huge artists.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you were following
Absolutely
them from
not.
the very start.
I don't think there is anyone I've followed from the very start.
For me,
I
would say that the most honest answer that I've got to that would be like Big Zoo and AJ Tracey.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because I think it's slightly different. Like I've got a slightly different relationship with them to you.
Yeah, definitely.
But for me, like hands down, I've been listening to them like just going to radio,
Uh-huh.
spraying bars.
Yeah,
since,
yeah.
like,
Like you've done.
2016.
I've listened to a lot more. Like I don't do that sort of like you do like the whole like Orbu of like
sets.
You
like,
do sets.
like, when it
I
comes
just
to
listen
grime,
the tracks and stuff.
I don't listen to like grime albums.
You
I
just
just want to
sets,
listen to
yeah.
sets. Because for me it captures the emotion.
I remember when
a
we
lot
went and
better.
saw AJ Tracy, and you were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, he's gonna like
Do
when
a Zoo and
Zoo did it.
X.
Zoo
Yeah.
did sets and stuff, and you were like, "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah, but when's he gonna do some of the tracks?"
Tracks.
You know,
Yeah,
some of the-
no. You don't go
Um,
for the tracks.
So yeah. Speaking of tracks, new music. Skepta released an album.
Yeah.
Opinions.
I thought it was pretty good, to be honest.
Decent album.
There's definitely like an aesthetic to the album.
Yeah, 100%.
I was personally disappointed by the J Hus feature.
Yeah, you said that to me.
Yeah, I was expecting a lot more from it.
Yeah.
With him, just
think
come
in
out of
terms of,
prison
like,
and da.
Lyricism,
Yeah.
Skepta's like up there now.
You
Like
think
wordplay.
Yeah.
I think he's up there.
I'll-
Like a lot of people like quote him on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah. No, Skepta's.
That doesn't like certify good wordplay. Just
No,
saying.
but
Like, if you get someone on
Skepta
Twitter,
is a very quotable artist.
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And I think in terms of UK artists, for me, is the MC with the most clarity in his voice, which I think
Yeah.
is what gives him a lot of his
Yeah.
appeal.
True.
Like when he's performing or whatever, it is that maybe not easy if you don't listen to him, but if you've heard the song or whatever, it is easy to know what he's saying.
Yeah.
And I think that is very important.
That does stand out in his music and stuff.
Yeah.
In terms of it being like a groundbreaking album, I wouldn't put it up there.
No.
But I'd say it is a good album. Maybe like I don't want to put a number on it without us doing a proper review. But I would say at least I want to say 8, but I'm like swerving.
I
swerving.
thought 7.5.
Yeah,
I think
I'd
that's
say like
fair.
a strong 7.8. I
Yeah.
would put on it.
Still gonna try and get tickets for the tour. I don't think that door's shut properly. I've got like bucket list gigs. I think
is that one of
Skepta
them?
would definitely
Yeah.
be one of them.
Definitely.
Like, oh, God,
Speaking of
Giggity,
gigs,
so good.
guess who I'm off to see in October?
Gigs.
Not gigs.
Oh.
Like gigs. Gigs as in like a gig.
Oh, Young
Who am I?
Gravy.
Hell yeah. Have you listened to the new album?
I haven't.
It's so good. It's like
I've told you before, haven't I?
it's like humor rap.
I
It's like,
used to listen to
yeah,
him.
like Gravy Train. It's honestly, it's just so satisfying. Like I can just listen to his music and just chill out. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's just feel good music, and he's like, don't like. It's like I was saying this to you ages ago. Playboy Carti. You don't go in expecting like a 10 out
No.
of 10 album, but you go in expecting just feel.
Dilate
good.
is a 10 out of 10 album though.
Well, it invented music. That was the first album I've ever
Invented sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound waves were born after that track. But yeah, like in terms of if you just go listen to the album, it is just a feel good, funny album. And the stuff he says, like obviously he's obviously not taking himself that seriously, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So like he's not being like
Is he changed like the substance of his tracks, or is it still?
oh no,
like,
it's still about like
I've got your mum in
your
the kitchen
mother.
baking
Hell yeah.
blueberry muffins.
Yeah, he's still on that kind of
Trust me.
vibe. But obviously, if you spoke to him, it's a persona. Young
100%.
Gravy is a
Yeah,
persona,
100%, yeah.
and if you buy into the fact that Matthew is the same person, because that's
his name. Yeah.
If you buy into the fact that Matthew from Minnesota is the exact same as Young Gravy, and you listen to his music with that mindset, you're not going to enjoy it.
No.
Go into it listening that he's playing this like young teen that's like messing up, like, you know what I mean? Like he's just come off COD in like 2014.
He's just trying to pull milk.
Drinking Mountain Dew. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
get that sort of vibe, then you'll be really into it.
Right.
And he's just like, yeah, his ad libs and stuff like that. So funny, so good. And live, I imagine, because he's a persona, he'll just put on a
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah,
And that's
it'll
what-
be a show.
And that's what I'm excited for.
That was
what
like
I
when we
want.
went to see Dave. That's what I was really impressed by.
Oh, Dave was a great showman.
Yeah.
We've not spoke about that because
No.
we've had so much time.
Because we haven't.
We
hadn't done
No,
anything
not since
since
we've
we
had so
went.
much time just
Yeah.
missing. But when we saw Dave was a really good, like, in terms of showmanship and stuff like that, talking to the
Yeah.
audience. Which who was I disappointed with by that? Arctic Monkeys weren't great for that, you know.
Right.
They because Alex Turner's just dry, so does the song, thank you
Yeah.
very much, goes off stage, you know what I mean? Whereas obviously you've got Dave and he comes on and he's this big showman and he like gets people up on stage to rap with him, and I found him very down to earth, very very
100%.
grateful for the position that he's got himself to,
Mm.
and that I really respected that. Like that's why when I came away, I really felt I felt like really good. I felt like we'd seen someone who really wanted to be there, someone who was on stage, and he wanted that.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
wanted
Well,
to be
he
on
did like a
stage.
little speech, didn't he?
He was really good. Speaking of really good, KSI brought
Go on, we'll talk about it briefly.
the
I
bit
haven't listened to it.
the
so.
bit that I respect it the most for is he's made it so you can put it on YouTube videos
Right, okay.
and it not get monetized.
Yeah.
Like you can get money from putting
Right,
his
okay.
music on your video.
And I've
I
told you,
respect that a
I've told
lot.
you my problem with it. I know.
Yeah, you just can't get away from the fact
I
that
just can't.
yeah.
I just can't buy into him as a rapper
because of his
I don't have a
previous-
problem with him doing it or
Yeah,
anything. It's just that for me personally, he's still that person who opened up Team of the Year in Iniesta and
With
started
no
jumping
trousers,
about with no
yeah.
trousers on, like screaming "House down."
Yeah.
Like, I just can't take him seriously
Yeah,
as a
I
rapper.
think
I can't.
The production of his music videos and his music is so good
Good.
that I just get so involved in that. Like tracks like I remember when On Point came out, and it was like before the Logan Paul fight, and that was like that dropped, and it was like, okay, this kid really believes in what he's doing.
Yeah.
He makes not bad music. Okay, maybe his flow wasn't there previously. He's got his flow now. Maybe there's like 2 bars that are maybe like slightly off, but
Yeah.
he's like starting to learn. He's
Right,
he's
okay.
getting it, and I respect the transition.
Mm.
And I was watching that music video, and Con, who directs like most of the music videos, insane. Like it's a well-oiled production,
Yeah.
and I just feel like everything that he does now is like really well thought through.
Right.
The track with Jamie, that's a really good track. You get Jamie on a track like that's gonna bang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in terms of project, it's
I-
not a bad album.
I understand that he must be getting somewhere with it because I think the project he's got a Jamie feature on it and he's
Mhm.
got a Zoo feature on it.
No, but Zoo went on
He has
tour
got a
with him,
song with Zoo.
called
has he not?
Uncontrollable.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
That's basically Zoo's song.
Oh right,
KSI
okay.
like, sings an intro and an outro and tiny verse, but Zoo's got like 2 verses.
Right, okay.
Zoo's very good.
So I mean, I can't knock him for it.
Yeah, definitely.
But just for me personally, I can't get into it.
Yeah, no, I rate him. I think we're gonna wrap up there.
Yeah.
We're what time is it? Yeah, we've been rolling for ages.
Alright, that's fine. It might be 2 episodes.
No, it won't be. They can
Okay.
watch it in one. It might be like 3 sittings for them, but
That's fine.
the best podcasts are always like 2 hours because you find yourself in it for half an hour and then you're just swarmed.
It's true.
Thank you very much for watching. If there's anything you want us to talk about, controversies, conspiracies, anything, let us know. We can do another podcast on them.
And we'll see you in 3 months.
Yeah, 4 months, whatever. We can cover some more music. We can cover literally whatever, anything you want. Another thing I sort of wanted to do was if anyone has like, because we talked about social media and stuff.
Yeah.
If anyone has like any problems or anything like that, they can email us. I don't know what our email is. But I can put it in the description.
we're gonna do advice.
Put it in
advice
the,
segment.
and that'd be. I think that'd be quality because a lot of people, like we said, people are reaching out and stuff. People don't feel comfortable
Yeah,
reaching
yeah.
out. You can anonymously get in touch with us,
Yeah.
and we'll probably take the mick out of you if it's
free
a funny,
counselling.
if it's
from,
a funny one.
Yeah.
yeah.
We've got no qualifications.
We don't
don't
claim
expect
to be
anything from
counsellors,
it.
but it would be. It'd just be funny, and like if you just want to make a story up to try and move us off, that'd still be really funny to read out.
I feel like that is what'd happen.
And I'm sure loads of other people would find stories like that funny. So if
Yeah.
you want to get in touch. We'll leave the email. We'll leave all the descriptions. All the links in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Goodbye. Goodbye.